Welcome to this week's video, and today we are talking about what can minerals actually fix. And I guess I want to start off by saying the question should really be, what can't minerals fix? Now, I'm not talking about curing things, because we're not allowed to say even the word cure in the world that I work in. But what I want to get across is that mineral imbalances simply could be the reason behind your symptoms, because minerals are so important to every process in the body and nothing works without them. They are what we call the spark plugs of the body. So if you have minerals out of balance, then your body is going to be out of balance. And I'm talking not just fatigue, weight gain, poor sleep, loss of motivation, all those things that I really focus on with my clients, but loads of symptoms, loads of health issues, cardiovascular, skin, autoimmune, all sorts of things. So let's dive into how minerals might just be your health game changer. So we're going to talk today about how minerals can address things like the thyroid, your hair health, your scalp health, your skin health, your weight, your sleep, hot flashes, most things. I mean, I haven't yet to come across something that minerals don't help with, because minerals are, as I said, the spark plugs of your body. They are involved in and needed for cell function, to produce enzymes, for your hormone production, and for all of your body systems to work. Now, most of us will know about, if we don't have enough magnesium, then we might not sleep well. If we don't have enough magnesium, we might get cramps. If we don't have enough zinc, that can affect our skin. If we don't have enough iron, that can affect our energy, although I'd argue it's often not that we don't have enough iron, it's because we can't actually move it around the body, but that's a whole different topic. If you're interested in that, go to my YouTube channel. I did a video on that recently. But what about all the other things, the hidden things that we don't think about? For example, cardiovascular health. We don't directly correlate minerals to cardiovascular health, but we should. There are certain minerals that are incredibly important for your heart and cardiovascular system. And if you don't have enough of them, then you are, likely to have problems. But it's not tied to that, and you never get told that by your doctor. So we have to take ownership of our own health, and we have to do something about it, because it's not something that the medical profession is trained in or are going to do anything about. And when you do work on your minerals and your mineral balance, then you'd be amazed at how many of your symptoms can resolve. The problem with minerals is that they can become out of balance very easily. Lots of things affect them, and when they're out of balance, even by a little bit, excuse the noise in the background, that's my dog drinking water, if you can hear it. When we have them out of balance, it will affect our health in one way or another. Things like stress, your lifestyle, how you look after yourself, your diet will all affect your mineral balance. But also things like pollutants, heavy metals, things you come into contact with on a daily basis, environmental factors that you can't avoid. I'll give you an example. I work with a lot of practitioners in the US, and because I mentor practitioners with this test. And a lot of them have clients who live in areas where there is high uranium. So uranium will show up high on the test. Can they avoid it? Well, they can, but they need to know that it's a problem in the first place. And the best way to know that is to test. Most people won't be aware that that's a problem, but it is. Aluminium we come into contact with when we eat out in restaurants, because aluminium is used in restaurant kitchens a lot. And so if you are somebody that eats out a lot in restaurants, then there's a chance that you're going to be, you're going to come into contact with a lot of aluminium. Deodorants, most people don't realise that deodorants sorry, not deodorants. That's wrong. Antiperspirants. Antiperspirants, the thing that makes you stop sweating. They contain aluminium salts. That's how they work. They stop you from sweating. The aluminium salts stop the pores from producing sweat. So, and you're putting that under your arms next to your breasts if you're a woman, and you know, whether you're a woman or a man, I just don't think it's a good idea. So lots of things that we come into contact with, and metals will displace minerals, especially if they are close together on the periodic table. If you think back to your chemistry lessons, think about the periodic table, you will remember that there's a grid, and the closer things are to each other, the more they're going to impact on each other. Okay, so let's talk about individual health concerns and how minerals can help. I'm going to talk about the ones that I hear about most commonly because of the work that I do. If you've got questions about other ones, then pop them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. So, thyroid health, which minerals will impact on thyroid health? Well, quite a few actually. So calcium and potassium, very important for thyroid health. When those two are out of balance, then it can actually contribute to underactive thyroid symptoms or overactive thyroid symptoms. And then there's iodine and selenium. Iodine is required to actually make thyroid hormone, and selenium is really important for converting thyroid hormones from the T4, which is the one that we make the most of, into T3, which is the only one that we can actually use. Again, most people aren't told this. They go to the GP, they test the TSH, and then if the TSH is in range, they're told everything is fine. So calcium, potassium, iodine, selenium, manganese as well, really important for thyroid, and many others, and vitamins too. I mean, when I'm talking about minerals, there is also all the cofactor vitamins to take into account, but I don't want to confuse too much because it's complicated. So next, adrenal dysfunction. So many of us struggle with our adrenals and not even aware of it. This is what got me. This is how I came into doing this. When my adrenals, I was literally in burnout and I could barely function. So adrenals, really important minerals are sodium, magnesium, and also potassium, and a whole host of others, but those are the key ones. When sodium is out of balance with potassium, or when there isn't enough sodium or magnesium, all three of those really, if they are out of balance in any way, shape or form, it will affect our adrenals to some degree. Depends on what's been going on for you as to what that pattern looks like, and we don't know that unless we run a test. Gut health. Nobody thinks about minerals and gut health. I used to run GI tests, so gastrointestinal tests with clients, and often we'd get results, but sometimes we didn't. And before I started using this test, I didn't understand to the extent that minerals were impacting on gut health. So now I always start with minerals, and then if somebody has gut issues and we don't get improvements, then we can test or we can do other things to help it. But minerals that are needed for gut health: zinc, magnesium, sodium, lots of different ones, ranging from what happens to the gut lining to production of your stomach acid, and many other things. And then there's skin and hair. So as I mentioned earlier, zinc, really important for the skin if you have low zinc. But the thing is, you can have lots of zinc in your body, but you might not be able to actually utilize it. And that's what this test does. It shows us whether you've got plenty of zinc and you can't tap into it, or you just haven't got enough in the body for whatever reason, whether the body is processing it too quickly, whether you are not consuming enough, whether it's not able to utilize it. There's so many different ways that can be an issue. And just taking a zinc supplement might be detrimental, might actually be making things worse. Zinc affects sodium, for example. So if you take too much zinc and you don't need it, and lots of people started doing that after COVID, started taking ridiculous doses of zinc because zinc is really important for the immune system, but then they carried on. 25, 30 milligrams of zinc a day, and still taking it now and wondering why everything has gone to pot. And that will really affect things. If you've got copper issues, which so many women have, zinc will displace copper and cause all sorts of symptoms. Copper, as I've talked about before, is a very electric mineral slash light metal, and it will cause problems, and zinc will push it out, and it's not good if you are not able to then deal with the copper. And then sleep and moods. So of course magnesium, we all know magnesium, but like zinc, magnesium, if it's not being utilised properly, you might as well not have magnesium, because you will have all the same symptoms as low magnesium. On a test, it will show up high, but on this particular test, it means that you're not able to tap into it. You can't use it. So you can be taking all the magnesium supplements in the world, but if you can't actually take that magnesium into the cells, you're not going to get the benefits of it. So, there are many minerals that are important for sleep. Magnesium is probably the most key one that most people supplement but don't always get the benefits from. And then blood sugar regulation. So quite a few with blood sugar: chromium, calcium, magnesium, all really important for blood sugar regulation. You can eat a very blood sugar balanced diet and still have problems controlling your blood sugar if your calcium and magnesium are out of balance with each other, because of the inaction that those two minerals have on the production and the release of insulin. So those are often really, crucial minerals to look at if blood sugar is an issue. You don't have to be diabetic. You just, most of my clients, when they start with me, they're not pre-diabetic, they're not diabetic, they're not at that stage, but they could get there if they carry on the way that they're going, because blood sugar gets a lot worse, or rather control of blood sugar gets a lot worse for lots of women after we hit perimenopause and menopause, because of the effect that estrogen and progesterone have on blood sugar control. So it is really important to take minerals on board if you are struggling with symptoms, but you can't just randomly supplement. I talk about this a lot. I know it would be lovely to just be me to be able to tell you, well, you've got these symptoms, so you should take these supplements. And I do get asked, I'll get random messages from people I don't know saying, I've got this, this and this, what should I take? I'd love to be able to tell you, just take this and everything will be sorted. But the body's far more complex than that, and it just won't work. And actually, I would be doing you a disservice, because I could make you worse if you just start taking loads of supplements that your body doesn't need, or that cause more imbalances. You could get a whole lot worse, and you wouldn't be aware that that's what it was causing it. I'm not a fan of multivitamin minerals, because they are just a broad sweep, and they often have things in them that we don't want. So somebody who's copper toxic does not want to be consuming copper in a supplement. Somebody who has got an excess of zinc does not want to be taking loads of zinc. And multi-minerals are set formulas. You can't change them, you can't remove one element. So it's really important to test your minerals and see what your heavy metals are. Have the test interpreted properly. This is not a simple test. That's why I work with other practitioners to help them to interpret it. If it was as simple as some of the other tests where you literally just read the levels, then it would be super simple, and you could order one yourself and you could interpret it yourself and then go to your health shop or, Holland and Barrett and just get what you need. It's not. That's not how it works, and you will make yourself worse if you take things that you don't need. You've got to test and have it interpreted correctly, and it's not an easy test to interpret, but when it's interpreted correctly and you follow the correct protocol, amazing things can happen. Really, truly, things that you might have been struggling with for years start to resolve. I have a lot of clients who most come to me because of extreme fatigue, chronic fatigue, or low moods, brain fog, can't concentrate, insomnia, can't lose weight, all of those kinds of symptoms. And when we start to mineral balance, they've got other niggly symptoms that they hadn't even really focused on because the others were so much worse. And those start to resolve as well when we start to do this work, because we're bringing the body back to the balanced state that it needs to be, where the body feels content and balanced. And then we start to get those changes. So in terms of diet, there are definitely things that you can do to improve your diet with minerals. But it's the simple things. It's the same things that I talk about for everything. It's eating a broad range of, I always say produce and protein, or protein and produce. Plenty of protein, a mixture of animal and plant-based protein, and a ton of vegetables, all different types, colours, and some raw, majority steamed or lightly cooked. You can't go wrong if you base it on that, and then you bring in some carbs. Carbs can be partly from the plant foods that you eat, and the small amounts of carbs, but not too much. If you follow that and you eat a really broad range, you can make a difference. Can you correct mineral imbalances with food? No, you can't. You need therapeutic doses, and our food doesn't contain that amount of nutrients. You'd have to eat so much of certain foods to really make big shifts. There are certain foods that are higher than others, but again, you need to know what you need, and then you can do that. But in terms of diet, doing that is really important. And then making sure you're getting enough good quality salt. I prefer sea salt, eating lots of potassium-rich foods, lots of magnesium-rich foods like green foods, nuts and seeds. And just making sure that part of your diet. When I work with clients, we're not just looking at supplementing, we're looking at everything. We're looking at stress, we're looking at lifestyle, we're looking at diet, and of course nutrients in the form of supplements, therapeutic doses. But it's the whole shebang, it's not just one thing. So I hope that was helpful. I guess the point that I want to make is that minerals, what can't minerals help with? There's very little that minerals can't help with. They are always part of the picture. And when you deal with them, you'd be amazed at what can resolve. Okay, so if you've got any questions, please do ask them in the comments, wherever you're watching this. And I am going to be offering in this month, December, a limited number of places for those who would like to run a mineral test and have me look at it and talk you through what I see. Now, this is not my package where you get your full analysis of your health questionnaire and a protocol, etc. This is just for those who want to initially see whether minerals are a problem for them, if it's mineral imbalances that might be driving their symptoms. So I know some people are really keen to do it, but they're maybe just a bit hesitant. Maybe they haven't done something like this before. It will be at a very cost-effective price, and cover the cost of the test. And then I will explain the results on a Zoom call. And there'll be the option to upgrade to my package, which comes with the full analysis and protocol. But I'm offering that. I'm going to be limiting the number of spaces. I haven't decided how many yet, but probably maximum 5. If you are interested in finding out more about that, if you want to be one of the first to know when I actually announce it, then just put into the comments where you're watching this mineral test, and I will get back to you as soon as I've decided, hopefully by the end of this week or early next week. And then I'll let you know what the cost is and how it works, etc. So if anybody's interested in that, then put the words mineral test and I will get back to you. All right. Take care. Have a great day. Bye for now.